Hey you guys, this is Psycho once again, and I'm here to bring you Titus chapter 2. Let's get it going. Chapter 2, 2 through 3, generally just talks about what older men and older women are to be like. Now, when I think of older men and older women, I think like old people, like elders and stuff. But to be completely honest, maturity can be paralleled to older. You know what I'm saying? So the way I look at it is if you want to be mature, these are the things that you should be striving for. Be temperate, dignified, sensible, sound in faith, in love, and perseverance. These are things that we should focus on to capitalize on our Christianity. Things to focus on so that we can pass them on to those who are younger than us. Now I know that they separate older men and older women in this, but honestly, you can just combine this to how we should act in general. For the women, it says, reverent in their behavior, not malicious gossips, nor enslaved to much wine, and teaching what is good. So essentially, stay away from addictions. Don't be gossiping. We covered that before. Gossiping is bad. Just try not to do it. No, it's hard. Like, seriously. And teaching what is good. It is our calling to be teaching and spreading the gospel. And gospel, it's definitely good. It's the good news, you know? So get that going, spread it. Continues to then just say what women should do. And I personally can never connect well with these parts of the Bible. 4 and 5 don't really get going in my brain. It reads, so that they may encourage the young women to love their husbands, to love their children, to be sensible, pure, workers at home, kind, being subject to their own husbands. I still feel like this goes both ways. I don't understand why the women are the only ones who have to be good workers. Maybe as I go on, it will say that men should be good workers too. But like, honestly, it's a combined thing. It's not just, oh, the women does all the work kind of thing. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't think that men should be like the sole ruler over women. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I just think that, I feel like it's outdated. I don't know. But I know God made this book to be here forever. You know what I mean? So there has... I don't know. If anybody can help me out, that'd be sweet. This is huge. I think 6 is huge for chapter 2 because it says to urge young men to be sensible. Like seriously, us as men, we do a lot of stupid things and we kind of jump the gun a lot, especially some men, you know what I mean? So like, just to be rational in what we do before we do it, because I know that that's definitely something that men of our nation need to work on. 7 and 8 then lead to essentially being pure in your actions and your speech. Be sure that everything you're doing is godly. That way the enemy will have no way of casting you down. This is important. I've been working on that a lot. And it's definitely a good thing to be as godly as possible. I know that that's hard to do, but I guess essentially just try to refrain in all aspects. Even if you're just by yourself, just constantly be pure. Constantly be focusing on good words, motivations. Nope, not putting down people. I know that it's fun to joke around. Just be sure if you do joke around with somebody that they know you were joking around. You know what I mean? Make sure that when you're making fun of each other that the other person knows that you're just messing around. Essentially, if you're going to be making fun of your friends, be sure to give them more compliments than not. And that they're laughing with you and such. But I like make fun of jokes, so I guess that could be something that I can definitely work on. Woo! I saw that word and I just jumped, so let's go ahead and talk about this. So 11 and 12, we're instructed to deny ungodliness and worldly desires and to live sensibly, righteously, and godly in the present age. Remember I was just talking about how like 4 and 5 and how I didn't understand in the present age? Well, now it's just talking about the present age and that's cool. It seems like Titus is definitely talking about avoiding the whole ungodliness, the whole dirtiness. Probably because that's who they're trying to reach. And by they, I mean Paul. The Cretans were like all gross and stuff, so essentially Paul was probably writing this to be all like, yo, avoid this stuff because it's bad. Worldly desires suck. And I think it's so hard to avoid worldly desires because that's all we know. We've never lived in heaven, we've never been there, we don't know it. So it's like, it's hard to accept something that you don't fully understand. It's really hard. I can understand why it's so hard to get so into the spiritual mindset. You know what I mean? It's definitely something that just needs to be trained and trained and trained. And it's way harder than trying to ride a bike, way harder than trying to learn a sport. It's way harder than just about anything, because if you think about it, this is a gift that you just need to strive for. You need to be fully attended to it if you think about it. Like, it's just really hard to focus on when you've never even understood it. You know what I'm saying? It's a really high level zone. So we need to think about this when we're trying to teach people about the gospel, about God. I was skating with my friend Allie, and she's struggling to learn how to skate backwards, skate sides, all that stuff. Which I'm using this as a parallel, because if you don't encourage and if you don't help the people that don't know the gospel, they'll probably just give up. It's a really hard thing to learn. You know what I'm saying? Definitely keep that in mind when you're trying to teach people the gospel and trying to help people out. And on that same parallel, be sure you know it. Learn it, practice it, because you need to be the one who's teaching it. And it's a tough subject. I got a little off topic there, but I definitely think that God wanted me to say that. And yeah. Essentially then the rest of the chapter is just talking about how Christ gave himself. He did it with purpose. He did it with reason. He did it for all of our lawless deeds. And so I essentially assume that it means if he just gave us his life, don't let it be in vain. Start getting your clean on. Do a little scrubbing with the soap of holiness. But anyways, what I'm really liking so far about reading Titus is the whole banishing the evil that is in your worldly mind, and to get rid of worldly desires, though it will be very tough because it's all we know. So I challenge you to actively be thinking about your worldly desires and to avoid them. And to be sure that all you're doing is in the name of God, and all that you're doing is for God. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless.